Hi guys, Zambina here and welcome to my very first speed build, and I'm so glad you're here, especially for my very first video. And as you can see, we are in the always beautiful and lovely Sulani, where I am building a small-ish family home. And I say small-ish because this build ends up having 2 bedrooms and I believe 3 bathrooms. And there is space for 2 parents, a child or teenager, whatever you want, and there's also stuff for a pet if you would like. And as you've probably seen from the title of this video, this is not a full build by me, so to speak. The shell is made by someone called Sally_Rachel on the gallery, so full credit to them for the shell. I've not made the shell, this is just me basically getting my feet wet, because I'm not a super experienced builder, so I thought I would start out with a shell to make it a bit easier on myself. I definitely had a vision for this build right from the get-go. I wanted it to be very colourful with lots of blues and greens, tropical looking, lots of warm wood tones, anything that makes it fit into the world around it. Lots of plants, which there are a lot of plants, which you probably saw from the thumbnail. And I am really very happy with how it turned out. It's quite bright and airy, but it's also very, very cozy in my opinion. So I'm really, really happy with that. And here you can see I'm trying to figure out the front. I wanted the back building, which is sitting in the water, to be accessible from the front as well, not just from the deck in the back. So I made this little small bridge thing, whatever you want to call it. And I really like how that turned out. I used, I believe, the Jungle Adventure planks for this, once I decide, because I'm very indecisive, the Jungle Adventure planks, because they are amazing and perfect and I love them. And I did this thing in the corners with diagonal floor tiles to make it look more realistic to how a real bridge would look, which I was quite proud of, to be honest. And here you can see that I'm experiencing a bit of a glitch with this fence here. I was going to cut this out, but then I thought I'm not sure if other people experience this. I'm not sure if it's because the game gets confused with the different height platforms, because you can see here that the fences don't quite line up either. This was pre-platform. I built this pre-platform update. So I'm not sure if it still exists or if it's still an issue, but I left it in just because I thought someone else might be experiencing the same thing. And here you can see I'm starting to fit some doors and soon also some wallpaper and some fences around the roofs. I do cut out certain bits and pieces because I am still quite a slow builder, because I'm not super experienced, and I didn't want this video to be even longer than it already is. It's already over half an hour, so there are some bits where I'm unendingly indecisive about stuff that I have cut out just to make it easier to watch, I hope. But yeah, here I'm just decorating the outside a little bit. I have cut out, as you see, I have cut out me figuring out the floor plan and where the stairs went, because trust me, that took longer than I would like to admit. With the slightly weird shape of the house and the fact that the top floor is smaller, like on pretty much every side is smaller than the bottom floor, it was a task and a half trying to figure out where to put the stairs so that it would make sense. But I figured it out and I'm very happy with that. And here I'm putting in the windows, and as you can see from the doors and windows, things like that, I used basically exclusively island living stuff because I wanted it all to match. I like having matching wood tones, it makes me happy. And as every sim builder knows, sometimes matching wood tones can be a struggle, especially if you go between packs. So that's why I stuck within island living. And here I'm figuring out the interior wallpapers. You can see the stuff I put in the bathrooms. I do change that out. I wanted to try and see if that would be a cool look for a bathroom, but in the end I do change it to some Jungle Adventure stuff, I believe. Because I thought that rocky look, lava look was a bit too much. And now I'm working on the back deck, which I really, really love. I got obviously a ladder down to the water in 2 places, so they can go for a swim. Some floaties, I give them a boat and also a jet ski. Because like I've not built much in Sulani before, and I wanted them to have all the nice things. I wanted them to have all the cool things that you can only have in this world, basically. And now I'm starting to work on the kitchen, and I used the Jungle Adventure counters because I thought they fit really, really well. And I will say something that you will notice, this is a bad habit that I'm trying to break. I tend to flit a bit from room to room. I have an issue with one room not keeping my attention for long enough, and then I go to another room and do some stuff there, and then I come back to the original room and work on that. And I realize that that might be a bit confusing to watch, but trust me, this is something that I'm aware of. I am working on it, and at the point of doing this voiceover, I have recorded a few more build videos, and I know that I've been getting better at that in those videos. So if that is annoying to you to watch me flitting between rooms now and then, please know I'm aware. I am working on it, and I know that it's probably very annoying. And as you can see, the kitchen is starting to come together. I will clutter it up a bit later, following up on what I just said. But for now, I'm just working on the basic shape of it. And as you can see, I did go back and forth on the colors a little bit, but I liked this kind of reddish muted brown and the yellow, so it fit really well. And this is me trying to figure out if the shower and the tub matches perfectly, because I'm starting to work on the bathroom. And as you can see now, I've changed the walls and floor of the bathroom into some jungle adventure stuff rather than the lava rocks looking thing, because I thought the lava rocks looking thing, while cool looking, it was a little bit too much for this build. And I like to have a slight blue tint in all my bathrooms. I don't know why. I just really, really love blue bathrooms. I wish I had a fully blue bathroom myself. My bathroom is blue-ish, but it's not blue enough. Like, you know, when I eventually buy a place, myself and my fiance, I think I want a properly super blue bathroom. That's like the dream. I don't know if that's a weird dream to have. Is that weird? I'm not sure. But I'm working a little bit on the dining area, and then on the back entrance, I suppose it is. And this here is going to be a little bit of a pet area. There's going to be a pet bed, feeding bowl, things like that. And something I noticed that I found funny, that I did not notice until I was finished with the build and I had already put it on the gallery. I've put a dog bed there and some dog food there, and then in the bathroom I've put a litter box for a cat. So, you know, I mean, I guess, you know, the cat can still sleep in the dog bed. It doesn't really matter, but I realized I've optimized this home for 2 different pets at the same time, which I guess could be a good thing. But yeah, this is the wee corner for a pet. If you don't want to have a pet, I'm sure you could remove that wee wall, turn that into maybe a little seating area, an office maybe, a little office corner, whatever you like. But I thought it was perfect for just a little thing like that, for the pet to have its own little area where it can relax. And here is my rug struggle. I always struggle with rugs. I love them, but I always doubt myself as to what look good and as to what I like. So that there's a lot of rug struggles in my builds, I think. Maybe I'll get better at it at some point, but I don't think so. There's so many options. I can never decide. I'm so indecisive. That's also a lot of the time what gets cut out. Me just being indecisive and doubting myself as to what looks good. And I'm just decorating a little bit more in the bathroom. Putting in that bathroom organizer, some towels. There's the litter box, as you can see. So you can have, obviously, if you have a dog and you don't need that, you can easily remove it, put a plant there or something. Yeah, just putting in some bits and pieces in the bathroom. And I will also, I believe, put lamps in, or do I do that later? As you can see, I have the saucer lights in on the ceiling just now, just to get a nice even light for building. And I know a lot of people like to just leave them, just leave those lights as the lights for the house, full stop, because they give such a nice, even, bright light, which I absolutely understand. However, I kind of like having actual lamps and actual lighting in my builds. I think it gives it a much nicer feeling, in my opinion. It just gives it a better mood. It makes it more cozy. And I've heard some simmers and some builders say that they don't like the yellowish light. You can see it in the bathroom now, right there. They don't like that yellowish light that a lot of the lamps give off. But I kind of do, and especially in a build like this, when you want these warm kind of tones and things like that. I don't know. Am I wrong? Am I weird for liking that light? I'm not sure. But here you can see I'm cluttering up the kitchen a little bit. I'm using the red OMSP shelf. If you want to use that, there's a link to the mod in the description. It is an absolute must for me for clutter. It is great. It's amazing. I love it. I would not play without it, not build without it. Yeah, it is absolutely a lifesaver. And here you can see I faff about a lot with my clutter as well. I can be quite indecisive and just going through the debug menu. Now I do have a mod for the debug menu, the Twisted Mexies mod that organizes the debug. I do not have that yet at this point, at the point of building this. So the debug menu, while being, actually I'm not in the debug menu now, but I do use it quite a lot for clutter. The debug menu, while being amazing, incredible, wonderful for building and for clutter, it is a black hole of just the void. It is the void. You stare into the void and it stares back in the form of the debug menu. And it can take so long to navigate, especially for someone like me who isn't super duper experienced in doing it. So yeah, the cluttering takes a long time, and I take a lot of time with my clutter, but I love doing it. I love cluttering. It's if a build isn't cluttered, I don't feel like it's finished. I don't know. That's you know, that's not me saying that that's how it has to be. There can definitely be builds that aren't cluttered that are great and amazing and beautiful. But for me, there needs to be clutter. It needs to look a little bit lived in. It just makes it a bit more real for me and more cozy, and it's just an enjoyable thing for me. And here I'm putting lights in the living area and upstairs, and I've put some fans in the ceiling because I imagine, you know, it's Sulani, it'll be warm. I've put a little entrance area there with the shoe racks and the coat hangers, just for a little back entrance area. I remember I tried to sink that area down. I did say this was, I lied earlier, I said this was pre-platform. This was the day the platforms came out, and I didn't want to use them in this build because I thought I do not know what I'm doing in the slightest with the platforms, so I didn't use them. I did try to use them in that area and make it sunken down a little bit as like a little entrance way, but because I'm using the stilt foundation, that messed up. You couldn't do that and have the stilt foundation stay. You have to have a solid foundation if you want to sink down an area with platforms, otherwise it just makes it a solid foundation, and that didn't look great, so I scrapped that idea. And here I'm working on the parents' bedroom. It is mainly got kind of a green vibe to it. I really love that bed. I love the big balcony doors they have. It's so lovely. I love it. It's really cozy, and I put a lot of plants. I put the Jungle Adventure mirror. Can you tell I've been watching Vixella lately? And just, yeah, it's really cozy. It's probably my favorite room in the house. I have also furnished the other two bathrooms upstairs, but I cut that out because they have the exact same items in them. It's a little bit a different layout, but other than that, it's the exact same. So I cut them out because the video was already long enough, and I thought, yeah, but better not make it any longer. It's probably not that interesting. And here is me checking something with that, if I could put that painting there on that wall and still open that sliding door, and the answer is no, you cannot. The sink on the inside was fine, but on the outside, don't put anything on that wall, you won't be able to open the door. And here I'm putting some plants under the stairs. This is something you'll see quite a lot in my build. I love having plants under the stairs. It just looks really nice. I just love it. I just love how it looks. And I believe I'm going back up to the parents' room to work a little bit on their wardrobe area and some art on the walls. Like I said, I flip between rooms a bit, but it's it's a bad habit that I'm trying to get rid of. Trust me, I am trying. And I'm giving them a mirror over the dresser and some artwork, as I said. And now I'm starting to work on what is probably also one of my favorite bits of the build, which is the vegetation on the outside. Basically, I didn't feel like any sort of gabled or half-gabled roof would work on this build. I wanted it flat. I wanted it full of vegetation. So the entire build and all these wee bits around the second floor, they are filled with plants. Just plants, plants, plants. Mainly island living plants. I don't think exclusively island living, but mainly because I wanted that really lush green color like on that grass there. Like, look at it. It's so beautiful, and it fits so well into the world, obviously, because it's from here. And I just wanted like the roof to be an absolute like jungle, pretty much. I thought that would bring a really unique look to the build. So this is me trying to figure out basically the under vegetation for the ceiling. I will add a bunch more grass and bushes and like climbing vines and stuff around the actual walls. Basically every bit of the wall is gonna get, like, spend a lot of time on this. I spent a lot of time on landscaping in general, I feel like. See, I always feel like landscaping is difficult, but then I always spend a lot of time with it, and I always feel happy with the outcome. So I'm not really sure where that mindset comes from. But, and obviously in Sulani, especially on a water lot, there is limited landscaping you can do because, you know, the water. So I think I just kind of took the roof and made that my landscaping for this, which is fair enough, and I like how it turned out. So I feel like that's a win-win. I got to do landscaping, and this build got to have a really unique and pretty look for its roof. And here I am just trying to make sure everything is nice and in place and fits in. I basically just use the same kinds of plants all around. Like, these are a variety of them, but just the same type all around to have a uniformity, and, you know, I didn't want to go too crazy with it. And I had some down here by the back entrance as well, basically trying to make them look like little plant beds on the deck. A little bit of dirt under there, put some plants in it, some vines. And I'm adding even more stuff here to the roof, make it even more lush. I wanted to add some height to it and some just different textures and different plants. So I'm adding these ferns, these flowers, and I do believe I add some taller kind of bushes as well. I don't remember what they're called. I go back and forth a little bit, as you can see. I add these trees, but they go away. I thought they were a bit too much. They were a bit too tall. I didn't want like actual trees on there. I thought that was a bit too much. But yeah, add these. I guess they're technically trees as well, because they're in the tree category, but they're a bit smaller. And here I am finally working on the living room area, which is in the back building. I cut out a little bit of the beginning because I was flailing around a lot and very indecisive about stuff, so I cut that a little bit out. But I'm working on basically the sitting area for the TV. I love these couches, and again, I'm riding the struggle rug. I don't know what to do for the rug. Yeah, I'm working on the bedroom for the child or teenager or whatever you would like to put in there. It's pretty simple. It's nice wood colored. I went with this coral kind of color scheme for the bed and the curtains, which is weird because I don't really like coral myself, like that kind of color, but it worked really well, I think, in this room. I think I pictured that this was a room for a daughter, I think a child sim daughter, but obviously that was just what I was picturing. You don't have to put a daughter in here, you can put whatever you want. But that was just kind of what I was picturing in my head. And I give them some clutter, some stuff on there, and then I am back out in the hallway working on some art for the walls, because it's quite a long hallway in the house between the parents' bedroom and the child's bedroom, and I thought, you know, we need some decorations, we need some stuff on the walls so that it's not so dull. So I'm working a little bit on that. Going back and forth quite a lot. This wall, I struggled what to do with this wall. I was like, I don't know. It's hard sometimes, especially when you're not that experienced. Like, I feel like, I don't know if I'm wrong, but I feel like people who are more experienced and that know the build and buy menu better, I feel like they have more of a vision in their head of which objects they want to use for which area. They're like, oh, that wall, I can use that painting, or that corner and go with that plant or that statue. I don't have that. I don't know if that's just something I'm imagining because I feel inferior to all the so many talented builders that are on YouTube, or if I'm just, you know, or if that's actually a thing and it's something I will develop as I get more used to building, which I hope I will do. So here I'm working on this little sitting area in this wee bit of the hallway, which is all windows, which I love. I love this area. It's really, really beautiful. It's really, really just peaceful and cozy. It's all these plants. I will put some bookshelves, quote unquote, on the tables. It's the bookshelves as just the wee stack of books, basically, which are great for an area like this. I think I pondered putting bookshelves on the wall by the big painting, but I ended up not doing it because I thought, nah, it didn't fit. It looked too cluttered. And here I'm using some separate pots and a size down tree to make some unique looking plants. I love doing this. I love taking decoration, like decorative pots, and putting trees in them, or like size down plants and making like unique looking plants, because I love plants. I love putting plants in my builds, and the more I can have of them, the better. The more unique variations I can have, the better. And I'm back working on the living room because I flipped between rooms. We have been over this. I am sorry. Right now I put a bookshelf on that wall, but I end up putting a bigger one over here. And I believe in that corner where I put that small bookshelf on the wall, I end up putting a painting easel, because I wanted to have some more skill building items. I do have, like you saw, a chessboard there, and I'm being indecisive about the bookshelf, as usual. And then I will also add, I believe, yeah, the easel. I add a computer down here. I found this bar that I wanted to have outside because I thought there's space there, you know. They can have a nice little bar. They can sit and have a drink outside. It'll be lovely. And I added a computer down here. That is actually... So the child has a computer in their room, but this is basically the parents' shared computer. They don't have a computer in their room, mainly because I couldn't fit it. But yeah, that's the computer that, essentially their family computer that they can use if they need it. And I'm just putting up some decorations, some art, and another wee seating area over there by the wee window thing. I haven't talked about that window thing that's sticking out, like the small bit that's sticking out, which obviously looks like it would be made for a chimney, like, because it goes all the way up. And it's got half walls at the top, and it looks like a chimney. But I thought, in Sulani, I don't feel like people would have chimneys. Like, chimneys are cozy regardless, don't get me wrong. But I feel like it would be a bit weird. I don't feel like houses in Sulani would come with like a fireplace. You know what I mean? So that's why I decided to not make those into a chimney. I make them into, basically, I put plants in there. Of course I do. And here I'm lighting up the living room, figuring out which lamps to use. I end up just using the same ones as the kitchen and entrance area, because I thought, why not? And I put this little console table here, and I clutter it up with some various items, and I also clutter up the desk. I will later on be using the OMSP shelf to clutter up the desk a bit more, I believe. Again, the thing is, what I usually would do, I think, is I would just build the whole thing, put out all the furniture, and then I would go through the entire house and I would clutter it, like just room by room by room. But I felt like for a speed build, that would be strange. That would be a bit weird. Like, it would be just at the end, there would be like 15 minutes sped up of just clutter. So I was trying to do a more as I go. I'm not fully succeeding, as you can see, but I'm hoping I'll get better at it. I love that makeup tray, by the way. I think it's so pretty. I think it's great. Yeah, some more clutter for the kids' room. Some more stuff for their desk as well. You can see me struggling slightly with the snap points on the desk and the OMSP shelf. There are two ways to use the OMSP shelf, basically, and I've been using it one way, and I've been trying to learn how to use it the other way, because I feel like the other way is easier. But there are two ways. If you go to download it, there are tutorials. There are tutorials on YouTube, all these kinds of things that show you how to use it. because it's a really, really great tool. And if you like clutter and if you play on PC, this thing is a lifesaver and it's an absolute must, at least for me. And here I'm putting some important looking documents on the desk. You know, adults have to have important looking documents. That's a thing, right? I don't know. I'm an adult. Do I have any important looking documents? I'm not sure. They don't look like that. They're not that well organized. They're hiding somewhere. They exist, but and I've put a lovely little fruit bowl on this coffee table. I was gonna put the TV remote there from the debug menu, but I forgot. So you know, shame on me for that. It's just some more paintings I'm putting up. Some rugs. I really like these like woven rugs for this. I think it fits with the whole look. Like I wanted this to be like not rustic per se, but not like still not modern, you know, like kind of just chill, just relax, kind of easy breezy island life kind of look with the wicker sofa and wicker chairs and things like that. And you may notice also I've changed the color swatches on the sofa and the chairs because I thought this one fit better. And I'm cluttering up the bookshelf, just putting some plants. I think I put some wee statues on there, some CDs. And I don't know if I used the OMSP shelf that much for this. I think I mainly just used the natural snap points. I used it for that one because the CDs wouldn't snap. But and the little bear. Oh, he's so cute. And now I'm working a little bit more on the balcony outside the parents' room. They have basically this private balcony just for them. Some lounge chairs, some planter boxes. Putting a chair there. I actually changed it to one of the wee stools or mini ottomans, I guess it is. Did that thing again with the pot and the tree. And as you've seen now, I have put outside lighting on all the walls and stuff, but I did that off camera because I thought that would be boring to watch me just putting lights on all the walls outside. Just putting some more stuff on the back deck here, and this is me working on covering up the quote-unquote chimney with some plants, just to basically make it look like it's full of dirt and there's just more plants growing out of there. And I really, really like the way it looks. I really, really like how it comes together, especially combined with the rest of the roof and just the plants that go all around the second floor. I think it looks really pretty. I think it makes it look overgrown in a good way, like, you know, in a planned way. And yeah, and here I put some plants. I first put these, but then I end up putting like an actual like planter box because it is indoors, so it shouldn't be just completely wild. And here we have more plants under the stairs. I love plants under the stairs. It just, you know, I like doing stuff with the space around the stairs. And I don't want to put properly interactive objects under there because I'm always worried, like, I don't really know how well the Sims are going to be able to interact with something that's under the stairs, if they're able to at all. Maybe depends on what object it is. But yeah, that's why I like just putting plants there because it's pretty, it catches the eye, it just makes it into a really, really lovely area to just look at and just sit and just, you know, you just sit in that sofa and you have all these plants surrounding you and it's just really, really pretty and pleasant. I wish I had a house like this. I really, really wish I had a house like this. Although I don't know if I could take care of all the plants. I think they would probably die. And more plants in the kitchen and dining area. Just all around, more plants. It's not, I don't like my builds unless it has plants. That's going to be a thing on this channel. There's going to be a lot of plants. Oh god, I wish I had more plants in real life. I have two plants. I have a monstera and I have a fiddle leaf fig, I think they're called. And I need to get more. And here I'm just doing the last bit of landscaping outside. Not much that can be done because Sulani, but a little bit, some palm trees, some bushes, things like that. And we are coming up onto the screenshots pretty soon. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any thoughts, please leave them in the comments below. I would love to hear them. And I hope to see you in the next video. Bye!
this beat.